All right, now it's time to talk about the NFC Championship game preview. We've got the Green Bay Packers heading to Santa Clara to take on the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to say this right here. We all know the Niners are a better team than the Packers. We know that. We saw what happened the last time the Packers made that trip to Santa Clara. They got spanked on Sunday Night Football. It wasn't even a competition. It was bad. Aaron Rodgers got spanked. The defense of the Packers got spanked. Kittle made them look like children. It was oof. Woo! Man, it was a bad look right there for the Packers. And we hope they recovered from that, but man, the Niners just seem to have their number. So this is not going to be an easy game. And I believe as the better team, the Niners are most likely going to win this game. But I got to say this. Aaron Rodgers needs to get to the Super Bowl. The Packers need to get to the Super Bowl. You guys know that Aaron Rodgers, this will be Aaron Rodgers' third NFC Championship game since he won a Super Bowl back in 2010 against the Steelers. He's 0-2 in the other NFC Championship games. The first one was Seattle. In Seattle, in fact. They were up. Seattle kicked an onside kick. A certain individual on special team, his name will not be mentioned. A certain individual on special teams apparently didn't know how to catch a football. Seattle recovers. They eventually take the lead. Aaron Rodgers leads them down the field. They kick a field goal, get into overtime. A Jermaine Kearse touchdown later, and the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl. Second NFC Championship game from Aaron Rodgers against the Atlanta Falcons, led by MVP Matt Ryan. They were fully healthy and fully loaded and ready to go. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers, he had nothing left. That defense had been decimated throughout the season, and they managed to get into the playoffs because Aaron Rodgers ran the table. You get to the wild card round against the Giants. Bam! Jordy Nelson goes down. Out for the rest of the playoffs. You get Davante Adams again. You get the Packers in the divisional round against the Cowboys. Bam! Down goes Davante Adams. Now Aaron Rodgers has to go into the NFC Championship game against a fully loaded Falcons team. And not only is his defense decimated, but he doesn't even have his top two weapons. Needless to say, he got blown out. They got blown down, and that was a disappointing end for Aaron Rodgers. Y'all can't have this happen this time. This man has carried this Packers team to postseason game after postseason game and postseason win after postseason win. You guys need to do this for Aaron Rodgers. I need every single player on that offense to show up, and I need this defense to play their best game of the season. You need to find a way to stop that Niners offense. You need to find a way to stop George Kittle and Deebo Samuel. You need to stop the Niners, because if you guys get to another NFC Championship game and you waste the efforts of Aaron Rodgers, y'all gonna regret it. Because the Super Bowl window is starting to close for Aaron Rodgers. It's starting. It's already closed for Drew Brees. We just saw it officially close for Drew Brees and Sean Payton this postseason when they just got upset by the Vikings. And we already saw Matt Ryan's Super Bowl window close after they lost that Super Bowl. They've yet to recover. They're not going to recover from that. And you can say the same for the Panthers with Cam when they lost Super Bowl 50. So, yeah, a lot of quarterbacks' Super Bowl windows are starting to close. And it's starting to get there with Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah, y'all better get to the Super Bowl. With that being said, let's get into the preview. Who's got the edge? The Niners. Offensively, they got better weapons. Defensively, actually, it really comes down to who do you guys think is better? It's up to you. Davante Adams or George Kittle? That's a tough question because those are the best receivers on that for each team. Because, they get Davante Adams. They got Jimmy Graham on that team. You're looking at it, it's just like they don't got too many weapons on that offense. Though they got a running game in Aaron Jones, but then the Niners also got a running game too. And they're the second best running team in this league this past season. Man, Jesus, I don't see any way the Packers are going to win this game. The advantage goes all to the Niners. Not to mention, they're at home, and they've already spanked this team. This is going to be tough. The advantage goes offense. We're not even going to get to the defense because we already know who gets the advantage with that. I'm trying to see if there's any way offensively Aaron Rodgers and that crew gets the advantage. But no, they don't. The Packers are in trouble, guys. I don't know how they're going to get past the Niners. If this was in Lambeau Field, I'd give you a try because unless you're Eli Manning, you're not winning in Lambeau Field. But this is going to be in Santa Clara. This is going to be against the Niners when they're at home. And we just saw what they did to the Vikings. I'm just looking at this like, I don't know, guys. advantage offensively and defensively goes to the Niners. They're the best team in the NFC. They've played the best and the most consistent out of everybody else, and they seem like they're on a first-class trip right to the Super Bowl. I just don't see them being stopped. But yeah, the only way I see this happening is for Aaron Rodgers to be that bad man. For Aaron Rodgers to show us a virtuoso. I'm talking about a 350-yard passing, 3-touchdown game by Aaron Rodgers. And you think I'm crazy in saying that, but when you're going up against this Niners team, if you can find a way to beat their defense, you're going to win the game. And I need Aaron Rodgers to come out there and be clutch and play like the vintage Aaron Rodgers we've seen. And if he can do that, they're going to win. Because look, he has a running game with Aaron Jones. So they've got pieces. He's got a running game, something he hasn't had in the last couple of years. He's got a great running game. And he's actually got a pretty solid defense. They're not better than the Niners defense, but they're good enough. They can make do. It's not like the Packers defenses of old. This is a solid defense. They've got a great pass rush, and their secondary is not too bad. I think they could pull off the upset if Aaron Rodgers plays like vintage Aaron Rodgers. That's the only thing. That's the only way I see these guys winning. I can't have Aaron Rodgers play the way he's been playing much of the season. Now, granted, even last week, he had a great game. That was probably the best game he's had this season, minus the Raiders game. Then again, the Raiders, if you want to say the Raiders defense is good, because he had 5 touchdowns in that game. But like, I need an absolute virtuoso from Aaron Rodgers in this game, because he's got the pieces around him now. And if they show up, all Aaron Rodgers got to do is play his game and be the Aaron Rodgers we know. If this man, I'm serious, 300. Let me tone it back. Maybe not 350. 250 passing yards, 3 touchdown game by Aaron Rodgers, and everybody else on the Packers does their job, meaning Aaron Jones, he runs for 100+ yards and gets a touchdown run, and the defense makes a couple stops here and there. If they can do that, they can upset the Niners. That's the only way I see it. This is going to be put once again in the hands of Aaron Rodgers, and that sucks to say, but he's going to have to carry this team to the Super Bowl. This is his moment. Now, I haven't actually talked about the offense for the Niners. Jimmy Garoppolo and the offense, there's not much to talk about, bro. This offense is great. And anybody who's still doubting Jimmy Garoppolo at this point, hey, man, I don't know what to tell you. This guy, he hasn't really made too many mistakes that's cost this team. Heck, even in the losses they've had this season, it's not necessarily been Garoppolo's fault. Garoppolo has been the model of consistency for the Niners, and he's been when he's needed to show up in the clutch, he's shown up in the clutch. So, man, I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, the Niners offense is gonna do what they're gonna do. Jimmy Garoppolo is gonna do what he's gonna do. He's got Kittle there, he's got Samuel, he's got Emmanuel Sanders, he's got weapons. This is not even much of a preview game. This is just how do the Packers beat this team. It all comes down to Aaron Rodgers playing this game and showing us vintage Aaron Rodgers. I need to see vintage Aaron Rodgers report for duty in Santa Clara this weekend. Because again, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to do what he does. And that offense is going to keep trucking and moving. But this Niners defense is going to be a pain to deal with. And Aaron Rodgers is going to have to beat this Niners defense. That's the only way they're going to win. He's going to have to beat this Niners defense. So with that being said, who I got winning this game? Man, it's rough. As much as I want Aaron Rodgers to get to the Super Bowl, because I feel like he needs to end his career off with another Super Bowl just for his legacy, so everyone can stop saying, hey, he got lucky because he managed to get to an NFC Championship game and he was going up against Jay Cutler and the Bears. By the way, Jay Cutler is we're not going to get on him, man. One day I may make a video about Jay Cutler and I'm airing that dude out. But yeah, he got one NFC Championship game against Jay Cutler and he managed to get to the Super Bowl after that. But you can't have that being the narrative, Rodgers. You got to get this job done. You've got to get this job done. So, I'm picking the Niners to win this game. You know what? No. We already know the Niners are going to win this game most likely. They are the far superior team. They have been the best team in the NFC, and you can arguably say they've been the best team in the league, if you want to make that argument. They have not missed a beat. They were in peak conditions at home against the Vikings, and they look prime and ready to go to a Super Bowl. So guess what? I'm picking the Packers. I'm going for the upset. And the only reason I'm doing it is because this has to be Aaron Rodgers' moment. This has to be his defining moment. He needs to get the job done. He's got the pieces. As long as everybody else does their job, Aaron Rodgers will be the one who has to win this game. If everyone else does their job, it's up to him. The ball will be in his hands. If we get vintage Aaron Rodgers, 250 and 3 touchdowns, the Packers will be going to the Super Bowl. Otherwise, Niners, pack your bags. You're heading to Miami. I think that's all I got for this. I don't really have much to say about this. The Niners are such a better team than the Packers that honestly, unless Aaron Rodgers is going to go off in this game and give us a virtuoso, I don't see how the Packers are going to win this game. So yeah, that's my only reliance. I'm going to pick the Packers in this game. I'm going to pick the upset because I believe Aaron Rodgers is going to understand that this is the moment in his career where he needs to finally... He's got the pieces around him. So it's not like he doesn't have a defense and he doesn't have an offense in the running game. He's got the pieces around him that he's needed for such a long time. Now he just has to go out there and put up the legendary performances he's been putting up in these past postseason games that have been wasted by terrible coaching and terrible defenses. Go out there, play like prime Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers will go to the Super Bowl. I'm picking the Packers for the upset, even though we all know it's smart to just pick the Niners, and they're probably already going to the Super Bowl. But I'm still taking the Packers. That's all I got for this. Can't wait for these games to happen. It's going to be awesome. Wish my team was there, but sadly, we didn't get the job done at home. So just like that, we deserve to be on our couch watching these championship games on championship weekend. That's all I got, and I'm out of here. Peace.